everyone, thanks for joining us for this special episode of the Dallas Anime Meetup Podcast. I'm your host, Corey, and joining me as usual are my co-hosts, Jamar.
Oh, I wasn't ready. Hello.
Nick.
Hello.
And Justin.
Hey, guys.
I'm going to keep changing up the order every time to make sure
Keep
you
us
guys
on
are
our
ready.
toes here.
Yeah, I had my mic muted, so I wasn't ready.
So we wanted to do this special episode because for some reason or another, every time we record, there is a big announcement the following day. Every time.
The gaming
Almost every
companies
time.
just listen to our podcast and go, oh, yeah? Well, joke's on you. We have a surprise in store that we are just going to do right now.
Like every time,
think
right
we
as soon as you
literally-
wash your car, it rains the next day.
Exactly. I think we literally finished the recording, and 3 hours later, Nintendo made that tweet for the Direct, and I was like, what the fuck?
Reminds me of that time when there was this podcast that talked about how Square Enix didn't have any identity anymore, and then literally the next week, they sold all their Western
They
properties.
have an identity.
Yeah.
Perhaps
They sold all
we're
their Western
prophetic,
properties, so like,
or
yeah, they're back to
mostly
the
just
Japanese
unlucky.
stuff now.
and in the Bitcoin crypto market, but whatever, that's another topic altogether. But yeah, let's talk a bit about the Nintendo Direct. Does anybody want to kick us off with a game they really liked seeing?
I mean, it's nice to see that the new Zelda game now has a title, but otherwise, it's just like 10 seconds more of the gameplay that we come to expect from.
Yeah, a lot of people told me that was their highlight, and I'm like, we already saw some good footage of Zelda already. It's not like there was anything really new. We got I wouldn't say hard, but we got more of a firm release date. I don't know if they're actually going to make that time. It was pretty specific, but
Yeah,
like
May 13th.
so
or so.
May I think it's May 12th,
Or 12th.
but May 12th is a long ways away from now, and that's, I don't know if they should be ready. It's been in development a long time.
Yeah. I mean, they did say that the Nintendo Direct would only cover games coming out within the next few months. So the fact that they would include Zelda, which is not coming out for another, May.
I mean, they had to.
They always
Yeah.
do that,
Yeah.
though. There's always like one or two that they just kind of keep near the end, and they're like, all right, by the way, here's one coming out in like 8 months, just
Yeah.
to keep you guys tied over.
Yeah, because everything else that was announced is coming out by spring, from what I know.
Pikmin 4, you think
Well,
will be ready by spring? I mean,
Maybe.
could be. All the money they're
Did we
getting
get a
from
date
the
for Pikmin 4?
the
no,
mobile
they,
games.
They don't
just
have
like
a date for it.
2023 placeholder, I think.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
all it had. That was such a fake out when
Which,
Miyamoto was like, "Oh, we have new Pikmin news," and then he was just like minutes of the Pikmin
We
bloom.
saw his shirt.
and it's like, "Oh, we have a new shirt." And then even the Pikmin
Yeah.
4, it was just like a announcement trailer. It didn't have any gameplay or anything.
No,
But-
I'm surprised because I mean they should be well ways into development of Pikmin 4, and just to not show any footage at all. is
Supposedly
kinda
it had been
sad,
finished
but-
since 2015 or something. Reggie had made an announcement and a trailer or one of their E3s back in 2015, and then it's
I
been
don't remember that in 2015.
completely silent
but
until now.
maybe.
They maybe
I guess,
reworked it or something. Who knows?
Yeah. From the Wii U to the Switch, because you know how long it takes
But
to
yeah,
port those.
For me, that sold me on the Direct entirely because I'm a huge Pikmin fan. And 3 didn't. I liked 3, but it didn't really do it for me in the same way that 2 was. I think 2 is where the series really peaked. And I'm hoping 4 has as much content as 2 did, but still as kind of clean as 3, if that makes sense. The mechanics of 3 were really snappy. I really liked playing it, but it was just so short. If they can just get past that with 4, I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't played Pikmin since the first one. I've seen.
I think we saw Olimar in the screenshots they actually showed, right?
Oh, Olimar's back?
I think I saw Olimar in the screenshots that he showed like 2 or 3 screenshots, and I think I saw Olimar. So I don't know, but it would be cool if they kept going through like different like alien races that are suffering from a different, whether it be economically suffering or food shortage. Because in 3 they were collecting fruit for food to bring back to their homeworld, right? And 2 and 1 they just were poor. and they needed all the stuff they brought back to keep their company afloat.
It's an interesting series because it like supposedly takes place on a post-apocalyptic Earth too. Wait, why do so many Nintendo games take place on post-apocalyptic Earth? What are they trying to tell us? Splatoon? I don't know, Zelda, where that's happening, but Pikmin
I
too.
don't know. It's also kind of, I guess, an easy setting to world build off of.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because we all know Nintendo does not do actual human characters.
Yeah.
Oh well, speaking of Fire Emblem, it's
What? I'm sorry. Where'd that segue come from?
the absolute inhuman hair coloring and just craziness. They took the
Pepsi Max.
sliders all the way off to the left. Toothpaste Chan, all the memes. It's
Colgate.
going to be interesting in the sense that it seems like a more return to more simplistic turns and combat mechanics and stuff maybe, whereas
I think it looks more complicated, honestly.
Oh,
Yeah, that's how
They
the
got
original
like,
played.
They got the blade gear on and whatever, like
Oh.
when they polymerized with the other spirits.
I guess
and
what
I'm like,
people
wow,
are
this
saying
looks like it's getting intense.
was it's like if you see how much movement each of the characters have, it's like a lot less. They only have like 5 to 6 movement, and there's actual towns and other spaces coming back. Whereas more recent games, even Awakening and Three Houses, is like you go all the way across the map almost, and you have a lot more options and things. Whereas this one maybe is simplifying it, but the bigger impression I get is it's bringing in all the players from Fire Emblem Heroes. It's kind of like the mobile game where you're summoning all of these previous
Yeah.
lords, and maybe that's
think
the
that's why it's kinda-
audience they're trying to capture.
Maybe that's kind of what turned me off a little bit to it, because I
Yeah.
felt like, I think me and other people seemed like it felt like a spin-off Fire Emblem game and not as much of a mainline game, because instead of focusing on their new characters, it was a lot of nods to the old series, just trying to do some like pandering, you know?
Yeah,
It's like,
Marth
oh,
is
look,
back
there's
again.
your Marth, there's Ike.
There's
There's
Celica.
Yeah, like Celica, out of all the people you show in the trailer, I was surprised, because that's one of the few Fire Emblems people probably played.
Or the the
Even though
remake
they
of
did the
Gaiden.
Echoes remake.
Yeah.
I still think Echoes was probably a little bit underperforming, because I didn't really hear anybody talking about it at the time. But
No.
And Sigurd was there, so genealogy
talk about-
remake confirmed. So who knows?
talk about complicated combat. Echoes was complicated for no reason.
Oh, really?
Because that old style combat,
Oh, yeah,
not
that's
so much
right.
complicated, but let's say unbalanced.
It didn't.
because
Yeah,
you
it
could
didn't
get
have a weapon
ring.
triangle. I remember.
You get a ring that you could snipe with
the archers?
OP mage in that
Yeah.
game, and you could literally like cast some of the best spells like 10 spaces away. It was stupid.
Yeah, but I guess you could
But,
think of
yeah.
this as like a best of, kind of bringing back all like the
Fire
older.
Emblem All Stars.
Yeah, and you gotta think about it. Outside of Japan, most players barely knew about Marv outside of like Smash.
Oh yeah, there's
And
still some
even
games that
that-
haven't been westernized,
Yeah.
localized properly.
I think at this point they didn't really need this game. They could have just made a Fire Emblem spin-off fighting game and have Sakurai lead it, because Sakurai obviously loves Fire Emblem with as much character as he's showing in a Smash. So I
Yes.
mean, just have him lead a Fire Emblem fighting game, and everybody can be all their favorite 40 sword fighters.
But I mean, if it's following like the same tradition of like the Fire Emblem Heroes, it probably wasn't that much of a development cycle to kind of switch from like a mobile platform to the Switch platform. So
Well, I don't think they're actually like porting anything from Heroes or reusing any assets.
but
I
like
would
using
say
the
it's
frame,
mostly-
kind of like using the framework. Oh, you summon heroes from different times
Yeah.
and eras.
To me, it
I
seems like
think
the
if
Pokemon
anything-
Let's Go games, where it was a remake of Kanto, but it's like trying to introduce all of the players from Pokemon Go. It's like, oh, it's the same mechanics where you just swipe to the balls to catch them. So you can play this one on the Switch, the $60 game, right?
I wonder if some of the models are
Maybe.
reused from Heroes, though. That is a good question. Because I know they did pull artwork from.
Oh, some of the art maybe.
Yeah, some of the art, some of the character models.
Yeah, some were
They probably
particularly.
just touched those up a little bit and then just put them in the game.
The brave Ike, or Ike with his father's axe, and then the Lucina wielding the bow are actually definitely from like the mobile game. Canonically, so I don't know expert.
Does that mean like the like bikini
Will we
summer
be getting
skins
other?
are coming?
I mean, it seems like it's definitely a setup.
We
that,
saw the costume shop in
yeah,
the trailer.
you could bring in a lot
so
more of these alternate versions. Who knows?
I don't. That's the easiest way they can sell this game on people is just get the horny crowd.
Yep, just have costumes. People love costumes.
There's a big overlap with Fire
The
Emblem.
skimpy costumes. Yeah, there we go.
I'm trying to think if there's
Yeah,
much else
I
with
mean,
Nintendo.
I went ahead and pre-ordered it because I know how fast these collector's editions go, and I don't want FOMO on it. And I had like $100 GameStop gift card that I just felt uncomfortable having in my wallet, so I got rid of it.
I think my biggest gripe on it, and we'll probably go to another subject, is I don't like the main character.
I don't think anybody did. Anybody was
what's
too
his name?
sold.
Isn't he like some dragon or something? Or...
I don't know,
Yeah.
some deviant art.
Another divine dragon.
It's funny
That's
because
right,
like
Divine Dragon,
the leak, it was leaked almost like months ago. I want to say the female protagonist, and everyone was like, "There's no way, that's not real. That's not the main next Fire Emblem character." But sure enough, the hair and everything, that's
Yeah.
that's exactly
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah, I did see the reaction to that. Yeah, what's the name? Aaliyah or something? I don't know how you pronounce that.
I don't know.
Something like that.
It's
But-
their design is.
I've heard the female designs, from what I've seen, have not received a good reception because they're kind of not as detailed as most of the male characters, at
Right.
least from the new original cast.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're all very like moe. That was something I
Yeah, they
remember.
got the little dot noses
Yeah. All
the-
instead of like the
the
actual.
girls.
Yeah, I know Taco Bales' character designer who made these, and it's like, oh god, yeah, they look like they're being into Fashion Emblem or something.
But yeah, I'm still excited to have a new Fire Emblem entry though, so we'll see
Oh
how it
yeah,
goes.
I'll
Yeah.
still buy it.
There's the new entry to the It's Take Two series.
I mean,
I
port.
I
you mean-
probably won't play it, but
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
It Takes Two's fun. It's a nice way to like play It Takes Two with two people in the actual room, because every
I
time.
thought- oh
time I
wait, so it's
tried to play
not? I thought it was a new game the way they sold it, or was that new
No.
Switch content?
No, it's just getting ported to the Switch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just the same game.
It wasn't on Switch before, but
No.
graphics will probably not be as good as PC.
Yeah.
I mean, based on the art style, I don't think it'll be too different.
yeah,
yeah.
definitely true.
I am hype about the new Fatal Frame. I want to play it.
Yeah,
Looks fun.
I'm surprised that the Made in the Black Water sales were good enough to get the new Fatal Frame up and running, because people say that Made in Black Water is and was and still is the worst Fatal Frame game.
Yeah, they said that when the Wii U came out, so I was surprised it got ported to Switch in the first place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope it does good though, because I never really got dug deep into that series when I was a kid, so I'll probably give this one a go.
I haven't dug deep into it myself. I only played the second game, and because everyone said it was one of the scariest games ever, so. And
No,
that
I
was-
enjoyed it back in the days, but yeah, I'm surprised that this franchise lasted as long as it did.
Yeah.
The dark spin-off of Pokemon Snap. It's Ghost
in,
Snap.
in an age when horror game franchises are dying unless they're Resident Evil.
No, that's an idea. A horror Pokemon Snap would be dope.
Oh god,
It's
no! It'll be like
dark
that. It'll be like
Pokemon
that
or ghost
stupid.
types, and it's like cheesy horror. You know?
Oh god, it'll be like that Blood and Honey movie.
Yeah.
With Pooh and that
Oh, yeah.
ridiculously awful.
Did that
looking
even come out?
costume. I
Well,
don't think
anyway.
I feel
I'm
like it's
so-
come out soon.
I'm
Were there
sorry,
any
but
other?
until,
Yeah.
until Tigger becomes permanent public domain and he actually gets a place inside one of those, I'm not interested.
That was even the point.
I think that's most of the big announcements for me. I'll speed through a couple of the rest of them that I thought was pretty cool. We're
Oh,
getting this
I think we
first
forgot-
Splatfest this Friday.
Oh, we forgot one
Octopath
Nintendo
Traveler
one.
2.
You know
Oh,
what?
which one?
Return to Dreamland Deluxe for Kirby.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forget about that one because I
Yeah.
already have it, so it's whatever.
But yeah, that's it.
the Wii port.
Kirby's getting like his third game this year, and it's like going under the radar. I mean, yeah, it's a remake of a Wii game, but I don't know. It's why do all these other series like not get all the remakes. Xenoblade X is still trapped on the Wii U.
Well, they didn't give it a
Uh,
time limit to expire in like March of next year to buy it, so nobody was interested unless
Oh,
there's
right.
a time limit.
Like
on it.
And
the
plus it's Kirby.
Mario. Yeah.
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 Kirby's like the most protected of Nintendo franchises.
Yeah.
But yeah, any other big? I mean, there's a lot of farming games, like 4 or
Octopath
5.
Traveler 2.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. That's the thing.
I'm hoping it's an improvement in Octopath Traveler 1 because it seems like they're taking some feedback after
Yeah.
Octopath Traveler 1 ended up being kind of a not so good tribute to the
Fist
old
of the North Star fitness box.
Yeah. Honestly,
Yes.
That looked pretty dope, actually.
but honestly, they should just follow Live a Lie and just follow that format as far as Octopath.
I think they are for this sequel, but I'll have to see.
Because it seems like the same 8 like travelers premise and even the same classes from the first game, but
I don't think the classes are the
No, there's
same.
different classes because there's
Oh,
like
okay.
a beast, cat, girl thing.
Yeah.
I noticed there was some overlap. But yeah, with everything else, it was hard to pay attention. But yeah, we'll see if it like takes place in the same world, if it builds up the story or more. I think there was an Octopath Traveler mobile game too, but yeah, I didn't play.
They
it.
have some interesting classes from the trailer. Yeah, I'm my interest is peaked on the characters, but I don't know. Did they announce a demo for this one? I don't think they announced
I'm
one
not
yet.
sure.
No,
There's like
they
a
just
bunch of
announced it.
demos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But what they did announce a demo for is Harvestella, was the best looking farming sim on there.
Of all the
I think.
farming sims, that one seems interesting.
what-
but-
If
was
you
that
could
the
call
one-
it a farming sim.
Was that the one that? No. Sorry, I was wondering. Was that the one that was a port of like an Apple Arcade game? And I'm like,
No.
no, that's the other one. The one
This
that's
one
like
was
Day Life.
this one
yeah.
was kind of like a sort of Rune Factory-esque scenario where you have farming and stuff, but there's a bigger plot of like the world's kind of getting corrupted over time, and you're trying to slow the corruption from the sound of it. And it has like a very action RPG combat outside of the farming that looks pretty in depth. So as someone who always wanted to like Rune Factory, but the combat was lacking, this probably is gonna make it for me. I really like the look of this one.
does
And
look
the
like
art
there's a
style looks
demo.
clean too.
yeah.
It looks like kind of sort of reminiscent of Bravely, but a little bit nicer.
The initial trailer where it's like, and there's a new 5th season, the season of death. It gets me every
Yeah.
time. After spring, winter, fall, autumn, it's like okay.
But yeah, that's all the big stuff for me. But I'm interested in Harvestella. I don't know if it'll be day one for me, but I may play the demo.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how Raincoat does because this is like Kodaka's newest game in forever, I think.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
I
Raincoat.
don't, I don't,
Yeah, that
I don't
looks
remember.
good.
I don't remember what the last game he actually did was aside from that FMV thing.
It looks a little cheesy off of the footage we've seen, like him doing one of the side quest detective cases, but I still think and the character designs looked kind of weird. Like the villains, that was like a really weird style for Kodaka's team.
Right, I mean, it's the same character designer, Rui Coates.
Yeah, I just
whatever.
meant like I think one of the villains they showed looked very contrast to the usual Danganronpa-esque character designs. So it is a unique. And then they have like the Junko looking partner.
Of course.
So
The
we'll
ghost,
see.
yeah, something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm interested because I love seeing more Kodaka stuff.
Yeah.
And let's see, and everything else, yeah. Basically, a lot of other things are just like ports, DLC, another farm sim game. There's the remake of Story of Seasons from the GameCube era. If you played that, my brother and I played Wonderful Life. Most of my brother played it quite a bit back in the GameCube days, and I cannot believe, by the way, Mario Strikers is getting another free update, including Pauline and Diddy Kong. And I'm like, you are still really... They're pushing Mario Strikers a little harder than they are with Mario Golf, which is pretty much dead now.
I think Mario Golf got a good bit of free updates before they stepped away from it. I feel like they do that with every sports game. They get like 2 or 3 waves of updates and then they move to the next one.
When the interest starts dying down, hey, we're adding Paulina. All right, you got and Diddy Kong, I guess. That's the way to bring people back into playing. But
Yeah, I like Strikers. It's just I don't really want to pay $60 for it.
Yeah, no, Strikers...
To be honest.
I mean, it's Shaolin Soccer gameplay. And Shaolin Soccer gameplay's fun. It's just that you kind of need to be as good as like your previous Strikers installments.
And that's kind of the caveat to having so many good games come out at the same period of time, and that like there's so many good Nintendo games to buy that the sports games on me are going to end up the bottom of my list.
Yeah.
Sure. Plus, not to mention, like almost all of these are going to be on PC, so I'll probably play it on there instead. Yeah.
Strikers.
No, the games, just the games in general. Like every one of these, like Octopath Traveler is going to be on PC on the same time.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
Switch
yeah.
All
and
that Square
that.
Enix. And games.
Wait 6 years for the Steam sale.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
it'll
probably
still be
will.
broken.
All right. Do we want to move on to State of Play?
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I think the biggest thing on State of Play obviously was Just Dance 2023. Knowing that that's coming to
Why is it always
25,
Just
man.
Dance? I don't know. We gotta
What?
have a dancing
What?
meetup or something.
I
maybe.
thought Just Dance was on the Switch. What you telling me that was a
Yeah,
lie?
it's betrayal. They're also
It's-
coming to
yeah, it's
PS5
not.
and Xbox Series X.
No. How
The friendship
dare
with
they?
Nintendo ended.
You freaking whore.
But I think, honestly, I think what really kind of led the State of Play was Tekken 8.
Yeah, that was a pretty good announcement, like to start off with.
Yeah. And then there's all the million ninja and samurai games.
Yeah, I know.
coming
There
out.
were a lot of those. I noticed that there was quite a lot of like action focus
Yeah,
with this one.
Ronin looks pretty cool, but I don't know if
Yeah,
it's a
Rise
new
of
thing.
Ronin looks good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or by
obviously,
Team Ninja.
Like a Dragon Ishin isn't really a playing off of the samurai craze or anything because that game already existed in Japan.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
just remaking it.
Yeah.
So
And-
we're finally getting Like a Dragon Ishin.
And everyone's here. Literally, almost every freaking character that wasn't in the original is now here from the sequels. Like they even got Shinada from Yakuza 5 in here now, except he's a different character. And all the Yakuza 7 characters are now. In there is like a mini game thing. They're not. I don't think their likeness is going to be used for any important characters.
So it's like the Infinity War.
Exactly.
Crossover.
No. It's the Super Smash.
Everybody's here.
Everyone's here. Yes.
That's cool.
Yes, but obviously, like a Dragon Ishin, I will definitely get because I always get Yakuza. Like a Dragon games. Like I play all of them.
Oh, same here.
Yeah, I'll probably pick it up too. But yeah, there's also the Pacific Drive, which is kind of like a roguelike driving sim, and it looks really cool. I'll probably take a look at that one, especially if they put out a demo. Honestly, more games need demos. I'm down.
Yeah. I know it's quite a few demos recently, but we'll get to that.
And we also saw some PSVR 2 footage and some of the games coming to that, like Demio, which looks good. Honestly, though, I once I heard that the PSVR 2 wasn't supporting any VR 1 games, it really kind of soured the experience for me. But,
Yep. Go backwards.
But I
back.
kinda-
honestly, that's a big L.
Not
in
really.
my opinion.
Like, think about
I'm
the
at
year
least in the
difference, the generation difference between the original PSVR to PSVR 2. That's like a whole. They'll spend like so much time trying to do back compatibility for what, like a couple of games some people may want.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of the games people are gonna want on from the PSVR 1 gen.
I guess the question is, is it like that the new one has better graphics or like the motion?
If the third-party developers go
mechanics?
in and do free updates for them, that's another thing. That's gonna be awesome. But to not have Beat Saber, to not have Skyrim, to not have like No Man's Sky, some of the big titles that really marketed VR. VR is already such a niche audience. To really close off a section of games like that are really popular, I think is honestly detrimental to the sales. But
you
we'll
kind
see.
of answered the question yourself. It's those big games will either get patched or re-released for PSVR 2.
And I think that's only going to happen if they really see the sales of the PSVR 2 do well. So I think what's going to be crucial is, are they going to get good launch titles moving, which the PSVR 1 didn't really handle that well. So hopefully with the VR 2 we see more support from Sony. honestly, I didn't even expect a PSVR 2, so this is an interesting Sony take of endorsing hardware instead of giving up on it. So we'll see. It is, but as somebody who spent a lot of money on VR1 games, it's sad. And if you want to go back to the VR1 games, that's just so much cords to keep around if you want to go back to the VR1. But I don't know, maybe it would have been nice if they said, like, sometime in the future we will consider having the PSVR ones go through the cloud, or we're going to go back to patch them. Just some kind of confirmation, because there is just some good games that, even first party ones that I wanted to see, like Resident Evil 7 or like Deracine, which is, if you don't know, is a prequel to Bloodborne in a ways, because I think it has to do with like the orphanage. But yeah, there's a few, and Moss, but yeah, and Astrobot.
I wouldn't worry too much. I think the big ones will
so
come back
worried.
over, whether it be patch or a re-release with updated graphics.
Yeah, we'll see. Overall, though, I mean, there's not enough there yet for me to jump on the PSVR 2, but maybe in the future. Also, yeah, cords are a big deal for me now with the VR headsets, since I've been so into the Quest that I really don't want a giant cord going across the room. So we'll see how they solve that, because I haven't really looked into how much cords and how clean the new controllers are or anything. So I haven't really dived deep into the PSVR 2. But yeah, there was a couple other cool titles coming out. There's some follow-up on Project Eve now called Stellar Blade. There is the Synduality from Bandai Namco, which actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks nice. I'm still rolling
Yeah,
my
I'm not
eyes
sold on it,
whenever Bandai Namco releases an anime tie-in with their video game, because that anime tie-in is usually like low budget trash. That's not good promotion for the game. Like, why would anyone watch this over playing the game, Bandai?
Yeah, I know. And we also got more news on the PlayStation NFT program. Oh, I mean the PlayStation Stars program. So I don't know how I feel about Stars. I know they like the fact that they were so adamant on or so immediately declining the fact that there'd be NFTs in it, and they also had this NFT stuff rolling out on the side, just really seems sus to me.
Mm-hmm.
But so the PlayStation Stars is like a digital collectibles service that you get, I think, through achievements. Right? You can claim them through achievements. I can't remember. It's been a while since anybody talked about.
Yeah,
Stars,
I
but,
kind of bypassed it.
If they're not
Yeah, so that
amiibos,
exists.
if you can't put them on your shelf physically, what's the point? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe they're
If you can't pay $20 and just for some
Yeah.
minor in-game content, what's the point? Outside of that, there was some another Ragnarok story trailer, and that was about it.
haven't they killed
Yeah.
all the gods yet? They've gone through all the Greek gods and now all the Norse gods.
They're moving on through different cultures,
Dang, yeah.
making sure nobody has
They
gods.
get rid of all the Egyptian gods.
Next game,
Yeah.
Buddhism.
Oh, that'd be pretty sick if they got Egyptian gods.
I'm telling you, that's gonna be the next God of War, Sun Eater, or I don't know what it
Yeah.
is. Just making up things. Who knows?
Patent that.
Yeah, maybe I
patent
should.
it just in case. But yeah, that pretty much covers the
Yeah.
PlayStation State of Play. There was also the Tokyo Game Show over the weekend. I didn't really see anything that jumped out at me.
I mean,
It was mostly stuff we already knew that just kind of got some more announcements.
Pretty much.
Reviews
Tokyo
and
Game
stuff.
Show wasn't really for new things. It was more for like things we already knew, with some surprising stuff like. Well, actually, no. The Yakuza / Like a Dragon stuff. They confirmed that Yakuza 8 would be here, and they'd also another game with Kiryu, like a spin-off game that shows what Kiryu was doing prior to Yakuza 8, which is like half the length of a Yakuza / Like a
wait,
Dragon
are
game.
those taking place between 6 and 7?
Oh well, either way, it's Kiryu, but when he's like a Buddhist monk or something.
Yeah. But
I assume it's going to be. I assume that game is going to be like the old Brawler combat, because I know like a Dragon 8, it's going to be turn-based, and since you control both Ichiban and Kiryu in that, I'll be like, Kiryu doing turn-based combat. I'm not sure how that'll be integrated, because like the thing with Ichiban doing turn-based combat is because he's a dork who imagines his whole life as Dragon Quest. He's not actually as strong as the gameplay suggests. All the gameplay is in his imagination.
yeah, but they did confirm that the Kiryu game spin-off will return to traditional combat. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
We also saw the Winners expansion for Resident Evil Village.
Ooh, yeah.
We got some more. We got like an actual solid story trailer for it. It looks really nice. I almost wanted to pause it because I didn't want like any spoilers on like playing as Rose and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't
but-
really look at it. All I just saw was Rose in a picture of Rose in snow, and that's about it. I didn't look up what that.
There was a little bit more. And then we got to see the third person mode for the base game, and it looks pretty clean. I definitely don't think I'll go back and play through the whole game in third person or anything, but if that's your first time experiencing it, it might be more I guess it might be more scary in third person. I don't know.
I need to put that game on my wish list. Because it does come out during the end of October, which means it's still within horror month, which means I probably should play it then.
I would just honestly, let's see, the 28th. Yeah, I would get the gold edition, and then just get the DLC with it, you know.
Let's
But
see.
yeah, I think that's about all that stood out with me. There was some more Street Fighter 6 announcements.
Yeah, they got the 18
So,
characters that will be in the base release.
Yeah, I think they showed the whole roster.
Yeah.
In the,
do you mind if I
trailer.
cover Street Fighter quickly?
Sure.
So, I think that was day 1 of Tokyo Game Show. It might have been day 2. So they show off basically the base characters for Street Fighter 6, the Battle Hub, create a character, and other
Yeah,
things.
the creative character.
Yes. The creative character actually looks real good. Good that it should be in Monster Hunter next. But they showed how you kind of interact with the overworld. Like you could play the original like Street Fighter 2 while you wait for a match. There's like a DJ room, and you could.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's almost like PS Home for Street Fighter.
I thought the creative character was a little cringy. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I don't know if anybody's gonna use it.
I doubt anybody's going to use it. But for the main
Yeah.
part, they are trying to make a more single player experience. Also,
Right.
try and make multiplayer more engaging, which is always fun. But most people that's going to play the game or play it competitively, they're like, just give me the characters I can use in a tournament and go from there.
But yeah, this one looks really clean. I may pick it up day one. I don't know. Maybe I'll get a fighting game on day one for once.
Also, I guess on that front, they showed off more of Mega Man Battle Network Collection.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, does that have actual online play?
It has
So it's not
online.
like
It has online play, which is really awesome.
Yeah, so it's not just a simple
Cool.
port. They actually
Yeah.
added some stuff to it.
They
Yeah.
did some HD filter. Looks kind of muddy in my opinion. I would just use the regular pixelated gameplay
Yeah,
advance.
I haven't seen that. I just saw the menu of the games that you select, and incidentally, looking back on Mega Man Battle Network and how it jumped into the whole version craze that a lot of Game Boy games were doing at the time. That there's version 3 is white and blue, 4 is red sun and blue moon, and then
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
the one I had
Yeah.
got as a kid.
I'm like, this version thing was kind of stupid.
I think
I'm
that's
so-
even when like Pokemon, or well, of course Pokemon had always been doing it, but then like the Zelda, Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages.
Those were actually different games, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think they did just to increase like people to play it because hey, if somebody
Yeah.
has white, it'll engage it more in multiplayer and stuff. I'm like, I could get chips from Metal Man from you.
I remember getting some of those chips. That was the hardest thing.
Yes.
I've
grinding the
never
hard
played a
ones.
Battle Network game, so I may pick them up and give them a try.
Yeah, they're pretty
They-
fun.
They are the same game though. Like that's the problem. Like, the gameplay doesn't change too much after like.
Well, the same
2.
game that I never played doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pokemon Ruby Sapphire comparison probably pretty good.
Yeah, that didn't change.
Those were actually pretty stark differences story-wise.
Well,
But-
sort of. Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe not stark differences, but May was very different.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess
those-
in like version time.
But yeah, other than that, Suikoden 1 and 2 is getting an HD remaster.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the full trailer. I'm not sure if there's gonna be like a fast forward in it, like the new JRPGs are getting. I hope so. I've never played Suikoden, so this may be a good entry for me to jump right into.
Yeah, I mean, getting a game from
Install.
Konami in 2022 is always a welcome surprise.
Yeah, I know. So I'm glad they're dusting off the desks and getting back to work on some things. Between this and the Silent Hill announcements, it's like, wow, what's going on at Konami? New management?
Figure
Coming
ways
out
to
with
make
games
more
soon?
money.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
I
one
think
more
that's
thing.
about it.
Oh, one more thing on Konami.
I mean, yeah.
On the subject of making money, they releasing more Yu-Gi-Oh games,
Oh god.
and there's a couple that's coming onto basically all consoles called Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duels, and there's also Yu-Gi-Oh! Cross Duels for mobile.
I don't know what that means.
Basically, more Yu-Gi-Oh! All the time.
And you could
God,
play
yeah,
with your
more Link
phone.
duels and more bullshit pendulum monsters.
Y'all
Yeah.
have a phone, right?
Oh no! I mean, is it like you could play a phone person can battle someone on their computer, or
I don't
Like
think
crossplay?
they didn't announce crossplay during the announcement.
Why'd they call it cross
it's
duel?
called Cross Duel? Yeah. what-
But there's a good chance it'll be crossplay because right now, Duel Links you could play with people on the PC and mobile.
Okay.
Yeah, I think especially with since recently we've all been playing a few of us been
Magic.
playing MTG Arena, and since that's cross-play, I think that makes sense to me to be like the new future of card games, digital card games, is to make sure you get the cross-play integrated. Because Hearthstone's been doing it, MTG's been doing it,
And Yu-Gi-Oh! Been doing it for like
Shadowverse.
5-ish years.
Yeah, it's not like anything new or anything, but yeah, I think like if you're gonna release a new Yu-Gi-Oh game, you should definitely make sure it's cross-play compatible. But yeah, I'm not trying to tell Konami how to run Yu-Gi-Oh. They clearly know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
one of their biggest money makers outside of their health spas and insurance.
Yeah,
Oh, and casino games.
yeah.
Maybe they got to bring
Cheaper
back that one
machines.
with the motorcycles. It seems Pokemon is doing that again. No, it's the Yu-Gi-Oh!
Zetzels?
5Ds.
Oh,
Something.
by 5Ds. Yeah.
Oh god, I forgot about that.
Where you
Blast
just ride
from the past.
motorcycles and throw cards at people.
Sort of.
Yeah.
That's how I understood it.
That's what happens. Yeah. Well, all right. I think that's pretty much all of the announcements we had to talk about.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
probably.
is one
Do you
more.
guys have something else you wanted to add?
Oh, one more announcement or more of gameplay show. Sonic Frontiers.
I was
They
trying to
had-
talk about that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they showed a little bit more on Friday, and it looks like a game.
Yeah,
Every
other
it's
trailer-
Sonic
That's
Frontiers
it.
is definitely one of the games
Yeah.
of 2022.
It's either
It's
like
definitely a game.
this is
Yeah.
the best
That-
Sonic
that-
game ever, or
the game-
oh, this is just
the game-
okay.
The
It has
demo
running.
didn't. Yeah.
It has running. The animation is animated. The voice acting was there. Amy is in it.
Sonic is there.
Supersonic's there, and footage didn't break during presentation, so that's a
Oh,
big win
good.
for Sega.
More like a good thing for Sonic Team because like Sega's been fine as long as it doesn't involve Sonic, like because you know Yakuza and like a dragon kind of.
I don't know. I feel
Keep
like
it up.
Sonic Team is basically 343 Industries.
Ouch! That is terrible
Halo
considering how
and
bad
everything.
343 Industries has been doing lately.
It's like congratulations, guys! You managed to put together a trailer that didn't glitch out this time. Good job.
As
Yeah.
just went in the background.
Yeah, remember the Sonic 06 trailers? Remember how dope they looked?
Yep.
and
And then I
Yeah.
brought the game, and then I stopped playing Sonic.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I beat it at least.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
But all right, that's all the announcements. I think. Thanks everybody for joining us for this special episode, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks.